It's been a long time since I've come so close to crying so many times, and I cannot express how humbled and honored and just how humbled I am to hear from everyone who spoke today. Jeannie, Michael Fenner, Rick Rogers, Richard, Oni Jarara. I want to thank Marcus Willamy from UA Local 81, Frank Stentel for being here, Anne-Marie Talercio from Syracuse, for making that trip and standing with me and supporting me and providing resources and commitment to support my effort. Tian, thank you so much. And as well, thank you, George, for your kind words. Todd Brewer had hoped to be here today, but he couldn't make it, but so glad to have the unions represented here today. It's an honor and a privilege, and I am very grateful to my constituents for the opportunity to represent the First Ward in the City of Ithaca Common Council for these past 12 years. This experience has been life-defining, and I've had the good fortune to meet and work with so many amazing and extraordinary people. I announce today that I am running on the Ithacans for Progress line to retain the seat that I currently hold, the First Ward Common Council. When the results of the Democratic primary came in, I was deeply disappointed, but I was not surprised. The Solidarity slate ran a well-organized, highly resourced campaign. My old school one-on-one approach was no match for the resources of the State Working Families Party, the Democratic Socialists of America, and the Ithaca Tenants Union. As much as I and First Ward Democrats were overwhelmed by this new and focused intensity of activity in the primary election, when it was over, I was equally overwhelmed by the outpouring of support and encouragement that I received. Voters and community members reached out to me, Democrats, independents, Republicans alike, and urged me to keep going. Many of you here today know that my process to arrive at this position was not easy. Council is a full-time job for me, and walking away would allow me to spend more time with my family. I could take better care of my health. I could enjoy more time paddling on the water. I would have the opportunity to bring my energies to the private sector and actually make a job that earns some money. I asked myself what was the right thing to do, and I encouraged my supporters to accept the results of the primary. I was fully prepared to leave. And then it rained, and it rained, and it rained. The fundamental responsibility of the city government is to ensure that all of our families, our businesses, and our neighborhoods are stable and secure. Throughout Ithaca, we experienced microbursts of high wind and rain, oppressive heat, and choking smoke. Stormwater impacted homes and roads and caused flooding in areas of the First Ward. For years, I have been recording the growing frequency of both intense rain events as well as significant periods of drought. I work closely with colleagues to discern the impacts of climate change on our land and water resources. It is not a matter of if the 100 or 500-year storm hits, it's when. I am running because when the storm comes or a crisis happens, I want to make sure that our city, our community, is ready and able to respond. For Ithacans to thrive and make progress into the future, we must above all be resilient. We must continue to prepare and to adapt. Our city cannot thrive unless our community is ready and able to respond to any crisis. Municipal departments must therefore function efficiently to be fully staffed and provided with all the resources necessary to deliver on their core mission. Ithaca's municipal workers constitute our greatest asset. They serve our community tirelessly, many of them risking their lives to do so day in and day out. Our professional staff, our workers, our first responders, they have the relationships and institutional knowledge that allows us to be responsive in times of challenge and to plan for the future. Municipal workers must not, should not be replaced by private contractors. Their labor deserves a proven ally on council and a partner who is committed to maintaining a standard of excellence in which workers at all tiers of employment feel valued and feel heard. And with this in mind, I am deeply honored and proud to have the endorsement and support of the Mid-State Central Labor Council, AFL-CIO, the Tompkins-Cortland Building and Construction Trades Council, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 241, Laborers International Union of North America, Local 785, and the Central New York State Community Action Program, Council Region 9, United Auto Workers. There is a big turnover happening on council right now. Ithaca City's management is being restructured, and many senior staff members are retiring. City departments and staff are crucial in ensuring the health and safety of our community. They are counting on a measure of continuity to sustain morale, and in some cases, their very ability to function. In order to ensure we are providing the support and services we need for our community, we must have a diversity of voices and perspectives on council. We also need experience and continuity to carry forward. As you may have heard, I bring 12 years of experience to council. Prior to my election, I served 3 years for Commissioner on the Board of Public Works with Wade Wykstra. I've been a member of the board of the Ithaca Area Wastewater Treatment Facility for over a decade and served as chairperson since 2017. I've had the privilege and opportunity to serve on numerous boards and committees, and have built relationships with elected officials and staff from all over the city, the county, and area municipalities. Our challenges don't recognize jurisdictional boundaries. The city cannot continue to solely be responsible for implementing and funding the solutions we need. So we must commit to expanding collaboration and shared services with the county and neighboring municipalities. Our future will benefit from holistic approaches and shared responses to those living in homelessness, to expanding housing opportunities and affordability, to shared databases and resources for building inspections and emergency responses, Airbnb monitoring and registration, shared planning and responsibilities for our parks, our trails and recreation, as well as stormwater management and community policing. To address these issues, we must be responsible stewards of our city budget and our resources. We must ensure that every dollar received in city taxes and efforts invested by council members are prioritized to deliver municipal services and support and provide support that only we, the city, can provide. We must not only ensure that institutions with enormous economic power in our community pay their fair share, we must also end the city's map-based tax abatement programs for real estate developers looking to profit from market rate and high-end housing development. I'm running on the Ithacans for Progress line as an independent thinker and a nonpartisan voice. I am here to represent all Ithacans. In fact, I've taken great pride in my consistent efforts to reach out to all constituents and stakeholders in my ward, and you've heard some stories about that from those who have presented before. I'm running because resilient cities are built on diverse inputs and perspectives. I am here to do the work it takes to build collaborative solutions that allow us to respond to the myriad of issues that confront us. I'm running to stand with the people of Ithaca and to provide institutional knowledge, continuity in governance, stability in transition on the Common Council. I ask the voters to weigh the value of my work ethic and proven commitment to everyone. As I have stated from the beginning, competitive races produce better elected representatives, and too many local elections go uncontested. With my candidacy, First Ward residents have a choice in this election. I'm here to represent everyone who calls the First Ward home. I offer my experience and my track record as a resource to each and every one of you. And with your support, I hope to be honored to continue to serve another term.